If you lost all your money tomorrow, how wealthy would you still be? Not a fun question, but a powerful one, because most of us were trained to measure wealth only in numbers: salary, house, car, maybe the size of our screen or the logo on our clothes. But notice something. People with the same income can live entirely different lives. One is anxious, trapped, exhausted. The other feels calm, creative, and free. Same money, completely different wealth. In this video, we're going to redefine what true wealth actually is, and more importantly, what to practice to receive it. We'll explore inner wealth, relationship wealth, time wealth, and yes, financial wealth too. You'll see where you're already rich and where you're silently leaking value every day. Stay with me, because by the end you'll have a practical blueprint for building a life that feels as good on the inside as it might look on the outside. Let's start with a simple shift. Money is just one expression of wealth, not the definition of it. True wealth is the capacity to live your values, to grow, to contribute, and to experience life deeply, now and in the future. It's a mix of inner strength, outer skills, healthy relationships, time freedom, and enough financial stability to support your best self. In the next minutes, we'll break this down into concrete practices you can adopt immediately. No lottery win required. Think of this as your wealth operating system, habits that quietly compound over years. If this kind of content helps you rethink success, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And try to watch this one all the way through. The practices build on each other, and the summary at the end will help you turn ideas into a clear, personal action plan. The first practice of true wealth is clarity, knowing what rich actually means to you. Most people inherit their definition from parents, culture, or social media. They chase status symbols, then wonder why hitting the goal feels strangely empty. Grab a notebook. Imagine it's 10 years from now and things have gone right. Describe a truly wealthy day in detail. What time do you wake up? Who are you with? What work do you do or not do? How does your body feel? What are you learning? How much do you need realistically to support this life? When you define wealth as a lived experience instead of a random number, decisions become easier. You stop saying yes to everything that pays and start saying yes to what aligns. Clarity is wealth because it prevents you from spending your life and your money on someone else's dream. No practice compounds faster than knowing what you're actually aiming at. Next, practice inner stillness. It might sound unrelated to money, but inner noise is one of the most expensive things you own. Constant anxiety and distraction push you into impulsive spending, poor deals, burnout careers, and relationships that drain you. True wealth requires clear perception. You need the ability to pause before reacting, to observe your thoughts, and to choose wisely. That's what stillness gives you. Start ridiculously small. 2 to 5 minutes a day of sitting quietly, eyes closed or soft, noticing your breath. When thoughts rush in, don't fight them. Just label them thinking and come back to breathing. Over time, this becomes a mental gym. You build the strength to withstand urges, fear, and FOMO. The wealthy person isn't the one who never feels emotion. It's the one who isn't ruled by emotion. Inner stillness is the operating system that lets every other wealth practice run smoothly and consistently. Now, let's talk about the mindset that attracts or repels wealth. Most people operate from scarcity. There's never enough. I'm behind. If someone wins, I lose. That lens turns every decision into panic. Even with more money, they still feel poor. Practice what I'll call grounded abundance. This isn't pretending everything's perfect. It's training your mind to notice opportunity, progress, and options, even when resources are limited. Try this. Each day, write down 3 forms of wealth you already have that money didn't buy, like supportive friends, a healthy body part you often ignore, skills you've built, or access to information online. Then write one small way you can grow one of those forms tomorrow. Over weeks, your nervous system begins to relax. From that calmer state, you negotiate better, learn faster, and take smarter risks. You're not waiting to feel wealthy someday. You're building the habit of seeing and expanding wealth that's already present. Inner wealth is powerful, but without skill, it rarely becomes outer freedom. One of the most practical wealth practices is to continuously upgrade your earning capacity, not just your income. Ask, what valuable problems can I solve for people or organizations? What skills make those solutions possible? Communication, tech literacy, emotional intelligence, leadership, craftsmanship, these are engines of income across careers. Build a habit of deliberate learning. Read 20-30 minutes a day. Take targeted online courses. Ask for feedback at work or apprentice under someone better than you. Track your progress like you track a workout. The financially wealthy aren't just lucky. They've spent years quietly sharpening skills that compound. True wealth is having the confidence that if your job disappeared tomorrow, your abilities could create new opportunities. When your mind and skills are your primary assets, markets can crash, trends can change, yet your wealth foundation remains surprisingly stable. Another core practice of true wealth is mastering your relationship with time. Many people trade hours for money without asking, what is my time actually worth? And am I spending it in ways that build the life I defined earlier? Time wealth means deliberately designing your days so more of your hours go toward meaningful work, relationships, rest, and growth, and fewer toward numbing, scrolling, or obligations you never consciously chose. Start small. Track where your time goes for one honest week. No judgment, just data. Then ask, which 60 minutes each day, if reassigned, would most improve my future? Maybe it's swapping one TV episode for a skill building session, or one social media scroll for a walk in thinking. Over months, those reclaimed hours become an engine of new skills, better health, and deeper connections. Money can be lost and regained. Time only moves one way. Treating it with respect is one of the highest forms of wealth. Let's go to something people often ignore until it's almost gone: health. You can be financially rich yet bankrupt in energy, sleep, and mobility. That's not wealth. That's an expensive cage. Practice treating your body as your primary income producing asset and your main vehicle for joy. You don't need a perfect gym routine. You need consistent basics that future you will thank you for. Think in three pillars: movement, fuel, and recovery. Move your body daily, even if it's just a brisk walk or short bodyweight session. Choose foods that keep your energy stable rather than crashing you. Protect sleep like you protect your paycheck. Ask yourself, if my current habits continued for 10 years, what kind of body and brain would I be living in? Wealth is the ability to experience life fully. Without health, money mostly buys escape and treatment. With health, it amplifies experiences, adventures, and contribution. True wealth also lives in your relationships. Study after study shows that the quality of our connections predicts happiness more reliably than income. Yet many of us invest more in upgrading our phones than upgrading how we show up for people. Practice being intentionally rich in generosity, presence, and truth. That means listening without instantly turning the conversation back to yourself. It means reaching out first, not keeping score. It means setting boundaries so that your yes has real value. Do a quick audit. Who leaves you feeling energized, seen, challenged to grow? Who consistently drains, manipulates, or disrespects you? Wealthy people, emotionally and often financially, learn to spend more time with the first group and consciously limit the second. A strong network isn't about collecting contacts. It's about cultivating mutual trust and support over years. When life hits hard, relational wealth can be the difference between collapse and a soft landing. We can't talk about wealth without talking about money itself. But instead of chasing tricks, practice financial foundations that quietly build freedom. Think of three core habits: earning, keeping, and growing. First, increase your income by upgrading skills and value, as we discussed. Second, create a simple gap between what you earn and what you spend. This is your real wealth engine. Third, Direct that gap towards savings, an emergency fund, and eventually investments that compound over time. Track your money without shame. A simple monthly review of income, expenses, and goals is enough. Ask, is my spending aligned with my definition of a wealthy life, or am I renting an image I don't even care about? You don't need to be perfect or ultra frugal, you just need to be intentional. Money becomes a tool that extends your values, not a scoreboard that controls your self-worth. There's a deeper layer to wealth that often gets overlooked: meaning and contribution. Having everything you want but feeling useless or disconnected from purpose is its own kind of poverty. Practice connecting your daily actions to something larger than comfort or status. This doesn't always mean grand world-saving missions. It might mean doing your current job with craftsmanship and care, mentoring someone younger, creating art that moves people, or building a business that solves real problems. Ask regularly, who benefits from the way I spend my time, energy, and money? Would I be proud to tell a curious child how I use my days? Contribution reframes wealth from "what can I get" to "what can I create and share?" Ironically, people who focus on creating authentic value often end up with more financial and relational wealth as a byproduct. The universe tends to reward those who consistently make life better for others. Here's a paradoxical practice: learn to live beautifully below your means. This isn't about deprivation, it's about designing a rich feeling life that doesn't require constant financial pressure. Most people inflate their lifestyle as fast as their income rises. Bigger rent, fancier car, more subscriptions. The result? They're always one or two paychecks away from panic, regardless of salary. Instead, practice satisfying sufficiency. Ask, what level of housing, transport, and consumption would genuinely support my well-being and goals without impressing anyone? Then pour the surplus into savings, investments, and experiences that grow you. Make frugality artistic, not miserable. Learn to cook great meals at home, host game nights instead of expensive outings, explore local nature instead of constant paid entertainment. When your happiness isn't chained to high monthly expenses, every dollar you earn has more power. That gap between income and lifestyle, that's where financial independence is quietly born. Finally, let's talk about the practice that multiplies every other form of wealth: gratitude expressed through generosity, not performative giving, but honest recognition that you have something worth sharing. Time, attention, knowledge, resources. Gratitude keeps you from constantly moving the goalposts of enough. Generosity reminds you that you're not alone. Wealth flows through relationships and communities. Each week, ask yourself, how can I make someone's life 1% better with what I already have? Maybe it's sending a thoughtful message, sharing a useful resource, tipping a little extra when you can, or offering your skills to someone who can't afford them. Generosity doesn't require waiting until you're rich. In fact, practicing it while you're still building teaches you that abundance is a way of relating to the world, not a finish line. People remember how you made them feel far longer than they remember what you own. Let's pull this together into a clear picture of true wealth and what to practice to receive it. True wealth is the ability to live your values with enough inner and outer resources to grow, rest, and contribute. Practically, that means defining your own vision of a wealthy life, cultivating inner stillness and a grounded abundance mindset, continuously upgrading your skills and protecting your time, caring for your health as a core asset, building rich mutual relationships, mastering financial basics, earn, keep, and grow, connecting your work and money to meaning and contribution, living artfully below your means and expressing gratitude through generosity. You don't need to implement everything at once. Think of these as dials you can slowly turn over years. True wealth rarely arrives as a sudden jackpot. It grows quietly, choice by choice, in how you think, act, and relate to others and to yourself. Now it's your turn to move from ideas to action. Take a moment after this video to choose one practice to begin this week. Maybe it's a 10-minute daily walk, a 5-minute stillness routine, tracking your expenses for the first time, or writing your definition of a wealthy day. Keep it small and specific. If this perspective on wealth resonated with you, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss future deep dives like this. It also tells the algorithm to share this message with more people who might need it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which form of wealth do you feel richest in right now, and which one are you committed to improving next? Sharing it publicly can make you more likely to follow through. Remember, you may not control everything about money, markets, or circumstances, but you do control your daily practices, and that's where true wealth is born.